Good morning, children. So today we are again together to discuss about Ampere-Circuital law. Now yesterday we talked about Biot-Savart's law. And what does it tells us? It tells us how to find out magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor of given shape. We also use this law to find out the magnetic field due to a current carrying coil at its axis and at the center. The question asking magnetic field at the center of a circular coil is very frequent. That is generally asked for 2 marks. Now we'll find out another method or discuss about another method to find out magnetic field. That is Ampere-Circuital law. Now what does this law states? See, statement of this law you can remember from its mathematical expression, that will be more easier. See, it is BDL and we speak it as line integral of magnetic field is equal to mu naught times the current threading through the circuit. Now when I say threading through the circuit, I'll just make a diagram and tell you what does it indicate. See, and I'll tell you how it is similar to Gauss's theorem. See, in Gauss's theorem, it is surface integral of electric field 1 by epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. Now I'll repeat the concept. See, for finding out electric field, we have a formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. This was derived from Coulomb's law, and this expression is used for finding out electric field due to a point charge at a distance r from it. And another formula was Gauss's theorem, as we have already studied. In this formula was easier to use when the charge was not point charge but a distribution of charge. In that case, we use this formula, and you might be remembering that we had talked about Gaussian surface, if you remember. And what was that Gaussian surface? It was surface around a charged particle or a charge at which the magnitude of electric field was same. See, you can see this is a similar expression. Now the difference you can see. Here we are having line integral. Here we are having surface integral. This I am again and again specifying because of the reason that this is a very common mistake made by the students during answering the questions. Sometimes they write down integral BDS. Sometimes they write down in place of EDS, they write down EDL. They do interchange this integral. So you have to be very careful in writing this expression, and rest of the question they do it correctly. But as far as formula is concerned, sometimes they write it incorrectly, and that makes the question incorrect. So you just always remember, when we are talking about magnetic field, it is the line integral. When we are talking about the electric field in Gauss's theorem, it is the surface integral. See, in Coulomb's law, if you remember, or in electrostatics, constant introduced by epsilon naught, that is permittivity of free space. And you remember that in this Biot-Savart law, we introduced a new constant mu naught, permeability of free space, and has got a different value than epsilon naught. Here we are going to make Gaussian surface, and here we will be drawing Amperian loop. Here we will be drawing Amperian loop. Now we'll see how to use it. I'll give you an example. To find out an magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. See, just try to understand. If you understand the first concept, then it will be easier for you to understand the next ones. Like if you understand for the plane sheet of charge or a line charge, it becomes easier for you to understand the other. See, let us consider a current carrying conductor in a particular direction. This is my case, and I want to find out magnetic field, say at this point. So my first step will be to draw an Amperian loop around this conductor so that this conductor is inside the magnetic field. See, so what I'll do, say if this distance is r, small r, I'll draw a Amperian loop of this kind, in which the conductor is now going inside the Amperian loop. Second step is to take a current element. So this will be taken as a current element here, a small part of it. See, this will be on the circle only. So current element dl, the direction of magnetic field at dl, as we have done in Gauss's theorem also. Like we had found out the surface at that particular point and then the electric field, direction of electric field. Now, this is according to Ampere's second law, this is the statement. So I'll take this as equation number 1. Now integral BDL will be equal to BDL cos theta. This everybody knows that the dot product is BDL cos theta. That means what is this theta? Theta is the angle between B and dl. Now the direction of magnetic field here is this you can find out from right hand thumb rule also, and this is the direction of dl. So B dl cos 0, angle between B and dl is 0. This is going to give me BDL. This is going to give me B. See, B on the Amperian loop will remain constant as far as the magnitude is concerned. dl, and this dl is a part of circumference. So B into 2 pi r. And now from equation 1 and 2, what I'll obtain? B into 2 pi r is equals to mu naught I. So B will be equal to mu naught I upon 2 pi r. So this will be the magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. I've repeated. I'm again repeating this statement. You have to remember it in analogy with Gauss's theorem so that you don't make any mistake, first thing, and second thing, you are able to derive these relationships in an easier manner. Making an analogy, like there you are making Gauss's surface, Gaussian surface, here you are going to make Amperian loop. This is the only difference. There you are having a surface, here you are having a length. That is, you are drawing a open surface around the current carrying conductor. This is the first case. Now the second case which we are going to do is to find out the magnetic field in case of a solenoid. Magnetic field due to a current carrying solenoid. Now solid, all of you know that it is in the shape of a spring in which the length is much bigger than its cross section. I'll make it on this side. Say this battery is there. So a current will flow in the circuit in this direction. Magnetic field will have now this direction. This you have done in class 10 also. A current carrying solenoid behaves as a bar magnet, and the magnetic field so produced is similar to that of a bar magnet. First thing. Second thing, the magnetic field at the poles is much more than at the equatorial places. And the third thing, if you remember, is that the magnetic field is uniform inside the solenoid, because here you will have parallel lines. The magnetic field is uniform inside the magnet, and as you will go farther away from the magnet at equatorial lines, the field will become smaller and smaller. So again, as we have been doing, the very first thing is I'll write down the formula. Integral BDL is equals to mu naught, the total current passing through the circuit or through the Amperian loop. First I draw the Amperian loop. So the current says I. Now here you can see it is not one loop. There are many loops. So magnetic field will add up according to number of turns. So number of turns has to be taken into consideration. Let N be the number of turns per unit length. Let N be the number of turns per unit length. Then the total current threading through the circuit will be Ni. So my expression will become equation number 1. Integral BDL is equals to mu naught Ni. Now the second step is to find out the value of this and then equate it to this value. Now for finding out this value, I have to draw the Amperian loop. I consider an Amperian loop of say length L. I can have it as P, Q, R, S. Magnetic field is in this direction. I'll consider now DL of this Amperian loop. Now you can see that since I've taken it in this shape, so here if I take DL, this will have this direction. Here DL will have this direction. Here also DL will have this direction and DL will have this direction. I'll have to take 4 directions like this. And the magnetic field is having this direction. Alright. So that means my BDL through the whole surface, that is P, Q, R, S, can be divided into 4 parts. P to Q, Q to R, R to S and S to P. B dot dl. Now this can be written as now, see, from P to Q, I will change it here itself. From P to Q, see, the direction of dl and B are same. Alright, so I can write it down. First step, I'll write down it as, say, B dl cos theta plus, again, B dl cos theta plus B dl cos theta plus B dl cos theta. Now we'll change theta here itself. You can do it in the next step while writing. On the blackboard, I am changing it here itself. But you write down first step as this. Then in next step, you will change theta. I'll do all the steps here itself. See, from P to Q, if you are considering, dl and B are having same direction. So this theta will be 0. Now come to this case. Direction of dl is this, magnetic field is this angle is 90 degree. Come to this line. Here what we do is, see, this is dl, this is, the angle is 180 degree. But here one more thing is being introduced, that is, since these points are at the equatorial points and outside the solenoid, this approximation is taken for a long solenoid, the magnetic field is approximately 0 at the equatorial points or negligible. So R to S can be neglected. This you write separately. Then come to S to T. Again, direction of magnetic field is this, direction of dl is this. So again, 90 degree. Now these two will again vanish. Cos 90 will be going to be 0. So these two terms will become 0. You will be writing it in 3 steps. Now this is going to give me P to Q only dl. And when I integrate, see, dl is a part of this length, capital L. So integration is going to give me bl. This is my equation number 2. Integral dd. And now from equation number 1 and 2, what you'll obtain? bl is equals to mu naught n So now we have obtained BL is equals to mu naught N I. Now see here, this was N number of turns per unit length. So when for the total current, I'll have to multiply it by length also, because N was number of units per unit length. So this will be equal to mu naught N L I. Here also it will be now mu naught N L I. So B will be equal to mu naught N I. And if you are taking capital N as number of turns, not per unit length, then in that case you will be obtaining mu is equal to N upon L into I. See, these two expressions are same. In some books you will get it like this, in some books you will get it like this. Don't get confused with this. You have to just check that it is number of turns per unit length, and here this is N is total number of turns in the coil. Thank you. You can also do NCERT exercises 4.1 and 4.2. Just try to do them after